everybody, welcome back to HT Kids at Home. My name is Ellie and I am building a mousetrap. You see, we've got a little bit of a mouse problem here in the HT Kids studio, but it's fine, I'm on it, I'm creating a mousetrap, it's going to be amazing. Today we are halfway through our series on prayer, so let's start off by worshipping God together wherever we are in our homes. Are you ready? Let's sing the action song. Let's go! Guys, I got so excited about doing the actions, I nearly knocked over my mousetrap. That would have been a disaster. Welcome back to the studio, everybody. Well done on the action song. Next up, we have our next episode of the game show. So get ready to cheer on your team and let's hand over to Becca.
Well, thanks, Ellie. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the HT Kids Game Show. It is so exciting to have you back with us. I am joined by three brand new contestants who are here to battle it out to win a point for their team. So, shall we meet them? first up, representing the blue team, we have Kat.
Yay, go Blues!
Go blue team! Representing the yellow team, we have Ollie. Representing the red team this week, we have Stuart. It is so great to have you all here with us. We are going to play a really exciting game called Poses. What is going to happen is there are 6 poses that you need to learn, and these are all animal poses. So let's learn them now together. First up, we have rabbit. So get ready to do your rabbit ears. Next up, we have duck with our duck wings. The third pose is shark with our shark fin. Good sharks out there, can see them all going. And the next is elephant with our elephant trunk. Good elephants there. And then there is crocodile with our snapping crocodile. And the last one is meerkat, looking out with our paws. So does everyone at home know those poses? Well done. What is going to happen is we are all going to be dancing. So get ready, jump up, get ready to dance at home too. And we're going to be showing our best dance moves. And then I am going to shout stop and cover my eyes. And when I've got my eyes covered, you need to get into one of those animal poses. So pick one of those and do the pose. With my eyes still covered, I will shout out one of the animals. And if you're doing that pose, then you are out. And we're going to keep going until we've only got one person left. And that person will be our winner. Are we ready? Are we ready to dance? Up on your feet at home if you're not up already. Let's go and start with the first round. So let's dance, everybody. Show your best dance moves. We've got some great moves going. Yes. Good dancing, everybody. And stop and get into one of those poses. So, first animal is elephant. Oh, we don't have any elephants on our screen here. But if you're doing elephant at home, that means you're out. But don't worry, you can still keep dancing along and show us your best moves. Okay, let's keep going and keep dancing. Here we go. Good dancing, everyone. And stop. Next one is meerkat. Do we have any meerkats here? Oh, cat and the blue team. The meerkat. Oh, the blue team is out. But cat, I still want to see you dancing along. Are we ready to keep dancing? Cat, you can still dance. Anyone at home, even if you're out, you can still keep dancing. And stop. Oh, the next pose we've got crocodile. Oh, no crocodiles here. We've only got a meerkat and a bunny rabbit. So we're still going. It's getting close between the yellow team and the red team. And keep dancing, everyone. Show off your best moves. Jumping around. And stop. Oh, what's it going to be? We've got bunny rabbit. No bunny rabbits here. Oh, we're still going. It's getting so close. Who is it going to be? Let's keep going. More dancing. Here we go. And stop. Okay, final animal. I think I'm going to get one of them. Shark. Oh, Ollie is out, which means Stu and the red team are the winners. Point to the red team. Congratulations. So that means that the red team have a point on our leaderboard. They are now neck and neck with the yellow team, who also have a point, but the blue team are still ahead with 2. So tune in next week to see who is going to win and keep cheering on your team. Well, it is goodbye from all of this week's contestants. And goodbye from me as we head back to Ellie in the studio. Bye.
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 Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back. Sorry, I'm just working on my mousetrap. I think it might be the best thing I've ever made. It's so good. And it's so strong and stable as well, you know, it's just not going to fall down. I'm really proud of this. But next up, we are going to head over to hear from Hannah, who's continuing our survey about prayer. And she might be interviewing somebody else who some of you might recognise. So are you ready? Let's hand over to Hannah.
Hi everyone, great to have you back for this week's results of the Big HT survey. We've been looking over the last few weeks at how everyone in HT is different, but they all responded to my survey saying that they pray. So we've been unpacking this a little bit more, using the Lord's Prayer and each section of it in turn to work out why people pray and what people are praying about. In week 1, we looked at praise, we interviewed Matt, and I stuck up some reminders around my studio to remind me why people pray and what people praise God for. Why don't you pause this video now and see if you can spot them and remember why I put them there. Last week we looked at zooming out and praying for God's kingdom to come and His will to be done. And I put this globe here to remind me that God is the King, it's got a crown on top, not me, and that God's way is the best way. We heard from Tolu and some of our other HT members about how they pray for this. And this week we're looking at the next part of the Lord's Prayer. So I'm going to check what that is in my Bible, Matthew chapter 6. It says, "Give us today our daily bread." So does that mean that every day I should ask God to give me my toast in the morning? Well, I don't think it's so much about literal bread as about asking God to give us what we need every day. It's about zooming in. Last week we zoomed out, this week we're zooming in to ask God to provide for us every day. God loves us and He knows what we need, and He invites us to ask Him for it. So why don't we go over to our interview for today and see who we're going to be talking to about this. Hi Steve, great to see you. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi HT kids, my name is Steve and I used to be part of the Rockets team, but now I'm in Oxford where I work as a scientist trying to discover new reactions.
Awesome, well we miss you on the Rockets team, but being a scientist sounds very exciting. So before we dive into the prayer questions on our survey, I have an important question for you. Would you rather dive into a pool of strawberry ice cream or a pool of chocolate pudding?
Oh, that's a really tough question. Chocolate pudding or strawberry? I would probably say chocolate pudding because I love chocolate. It tastes so good. Now I just really want some chocolate.
I would give you some of mine, but I'm enjoying it too much. Anyway, over to the prayer section of our survey. So first up, can you tell us why you pray?
Oh, that is such a good question. Well, there are lots of reasons why I pray, but the main reason why I pray is because God tells me to. In the Bible, God says in a book called 1 Thessalonians in chapter 5 that we should pray without ceasing. And what that means is that we can pray wherever we are and whatever the time is. And that's really important because I know that God loves me. And so when He tells me to do something, it's for my benefit. It's because it's a good thing for me to do. And so because I trust God, He tells me to pray. And so I will pray.
That's so cool. I wonder if anyone at home can find that verse in 1 Thessalonians in the Bible. Well, next up, can you tell us when and where you regularly pray?
Oh, okay. So there are 3 main times that I pray each day. The first time is right after I have woken up and I'm all groggy and still a little bit sleepy. And in that moment, I try really hard to try and think of things that I can thank God for. So sometimes that might be thanking God for that I've had a good night's sleep. Sometimes the sun is coming through my window and I'm feeling really excited about that, so I thank God for the sunshine. And sometimes it's just I'm thankful for my family or my friends or the exciting things I'm going to do for that day. The second time I pray is after I've eaten my breakfast and I've read my Bible and I'm just about to go out to work. In that time, I then sit down and have a pray with God, where I ask him to help me with all the different things that are going to come up today. I pray for my friends and my family about their days and for anyone who's asked me to pray for them. And the third regular time that I pray is just before I go to bed, and I'll thank God for all the things that have happened through the day. I'll ask him for help for anything that I'm still worried about or thinking about, and I'll ask for a good night's sleep and for my friends and family to have a good night's sleep.
That's awesome. I wonder whether you have prayed in any surprising places as well as your regular prayer time.
2 surprising places that I pray. Well, I think the first one is actually when I'm in the lab doing my experiments. I love to pray with God as I'm setting up reactions and monitoring them. I love to be able to just pray to God and about anything and everything, whether that's about the science that I'm doing or whether that's other things that are on my mind in that time. So I pray in the lab. And then a second surprising place that I pray is in the classroom. So as part of my work, I have to go to various talks and classes to understand the science better. And sometimes I get really nervous and scared about the work that I'm doing, that I don't understand what the teacher's telling me, or sometimes I just want to focus better. And in those times, I love to just ask God to help me to understand, or to help me focus, or to help me enjoy the work that I'm doing in the classroom.
Wow, those are surprising. I wonder if anyone else has ever prayed in their classroom in school. Well, today, Steve, we are looking at the part in the Lord's Prayer where it talks about asking God to provide for our daily needs. I wonder if you could tell us how you pray about this.
Such a cool question. So there are 3 main things that I ask God for my daily needs. The first one is I ask God to help me and to give me all the things that I need to be able to love him and love the people around me as best as I can. The second thing that I ask God to meet my daily needs for is to give me all the energy and the resources that I need to be able to do my job in the lab to the best of my ability. And the third daily needs that I ask for is I ask God to keep me and all the people in my lab safe as we do our science.
That's great. Do you have a story about when you've prayed for one of those things, and could you tell us what happened?
Yeah, that is really exciting. I actually have a testimony from a few days ago. So you remember that I said that every day I ask for God to daily keep me and my lab mates safe as we do our science. And a couple of days ago, I asked God to keep me and my friends safe as we did our chemistry. And one of my friends who works right next to me needed to help me with something, and so he came across to where I was working, and as he did that, his reaction exploded and glass went everywhere. Now, if he'd been working where he normally does, then that could have really hurt him, but instead he came over and helped me, and so I thank God that he kept my lab mate safe while we worked.
It exploded! Wow, that is a really cool answer to prayer. How amazing is that? Well, that is all my questions for you today, Steve. Thank you so much for talking to us, and I'll let you know when the results are in. Speak to you soon.
Thank you, HT Kids and Hannah. See you soon. Bye.
Well, that was really cool. So great to hear about how Steve prays and about how he asks God for his daily needs. I wonder what the other people from HT said on their response to this question of the survey. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my chocolate bar, and why don't we watch them together now?
I ask God for wisdom and understanding
to look after the young people that I work with.
And I ask him to help others to see Jesus in me.
I ask God to provide me with joy and love that I can pass on to others.
I pray for food and thank God for giving us food, and pray that He would keep us and our friends and family safe.
We ask God to provide us with energy so that we can do our work well, and with the electricity so that our computers can work as well.
I ask God for and thank Him for the food He provides each and every day. Oh!
I would say, please provide me with a heart to see the needs of other people, and then give me some wisdom to know how to handle each situation.
I pray that God will give me wisdom and guide me in all that I do and say.
Every day I ask God for strength to help me face the challenges that come my way.
I like to use some words from the hymn, Great is Thy Faithfulness, to pray for strength for each day and for hope for tomorrow, for the future.
Well, that was so cool to hear all about how different people pray for their daily bread. I'm just clearing out my shelf because I finished going through all of these surveys, and so I've made some space to put some reminders from today. I'm going to put up another picture of a friend because lots of people talked about praying every day for their friends and family. And I'm going to put up my diary to remind me every day to ask God to provide me with what I need for that day. Now, I do lots of the same things every day, like making food and brushing my teeth and turning off my light when I go to sleep. And at each of those regular points, I try to remember to pray for somebody. And I try and link who I'm praying for with what I'm doing. So for example, this friend really loves tea. And so when I make a cup of tea in the afternoon, I try to remember to pray for her. When I brush my teeth, I try to remember to pray for the people who live in my house because they're around me at that time. And so maybe this week you could try that at each of the regular points in your day, the things you do every day. Why don't you try and think of somebody you could pray for at that time? Well, I'm going to hand back to Ellie in the studio now, and I'll see you next week for the next part of our HT survey.
Thank you to Hannah and Steve and everyone else that we just heard from. I've been thinking, Steve said he had 3 things that he asks God for each day. I wonder what 3 things you would ask God for each day. That's my leader's challenge for this week. Why don't you think of 3 things that you can ask God for every day? You could write them down or draw them, and you could spend some time every day asking God for those 3 things. Well, that is nearly all for this week. I'm just going to add the finishing touches to my mousetrap. And then actually, you know what? Then I think I'm going to go get a cup of tea, because this has been a lot of work, and I just think it's time for some tea, isn't it? So there we go. That looks great. I'm going to go get a cup of tea. So I'll see you in a little bit. I'll be back in just a minute.
Hey, hiya Petals, it's good to see you all again. So I thought today I could teach you all some Geordie words that you can use. So my favourite one is buzzing. So you'll say this one if you're like that excited about something, you say, yeah, I'm buzzing. But another one is, howay man, why don't you all try saying it at home with us? Howay man, you can like shout it to cheer your team on. Howay man, oops. Ooh. Hey, my life, that was a close one. Howay man, did you see that? Well, you know, may as well finish the job off. So I'm just going to go over here and then hiya! Right, I better be off then. Gan canny Petals. Bye.
Back everyone! Back! My mousetrap! Oh! It's all been broken! What happened? This all, I spent ages on that and now it's broken. Right, this is it. fun. Gonna make a new mousetrap. I'm gonna drink my tea. Goodbye everyone. See you next week. Bye.